Welcome back to Connect MKE. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. If you're just joining us, the focus this morning is on the spring primary elections coming up on Tuesday, February 15th. My next guest, Julietta Henry, serves as the elections director for the Milwaukee County Elections Commission. How are you, Julietta?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having us today.
It's a pleasure to have you here, and I'd like to talk to you about several things today. But first and foremost, let's kind of differentiate between the City of Milwaukee Elections Commission and the Milwaukee County Elections Commission. What's the difference?
Sure. Well, the Milwaukee County Election Commission, we are responsible for programming the elections for each municipality, the 19 municipalities within Milwaukee County. We're also responsible for them getting all of their supplies, for example, their ballots on election day. And on election day, election night, we are responsible for the results being submitted to the state, if it's the federal or a state election involved, as well as the county election, as well as giving all the municipal clerks their results that came in on election night.
All right, so definitely a difference in responsibilities, and but you really do work hand in hand to make sure the process is smooth and everybody gets a fair chance at casting their ballot, right?
Absolutely. What we don't do is we don't deal with the electors per se and the poll workers and the polling locations. The city does all of that.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about redistricting because, of course, there has been a lot of talk about it. You have a number of voters who will see their ward numbers change and or their polling places. So talk about how important redistricting, this whole subject matter, is to the process of voting.
Sure. Every 10 years, as you are aware, we redistrict, and that is based on the census count. The census allow us to look at the lines, redraw the lines if necessary, so you will have equal representation throughout the county for all office, the state office, your federal, state, municipal, as well as county levels. So they will be equally as far as the number of people who exist and who reside in those particular wards and actually districts. So it's important, if you don't know, you should look them up. Find out who your state representative is. And the state representative right now, they haven't finished their redistricting plan. We'll know that in April. But we do know there are new county supervisors throughout Milwaukee County. So go to myvote.wi.gov to find out who your county supervisor is. Every county supervisor will not have an election for the spring, this primary election. However, every county supervisor will be on the ballot in April, on April 5th.
All right, so very important election coming up then as well. But there has been clearly a challenge, especially when it concerned violations of the 1965 Voting Rights Act in communities of color, as well as proper and fair allocation of minority majority districts. So what has been the scenario surrounding these things?
Well, again, we are not responsible for the redistricting within the communities. We're responsible for just making sure that we implement the plan that the legislatures place in front of us. So the county supervisors, they were responsible for creating the line. That is done by the chairperson of the county board. She appoints a group of judges, usually they're retired judges, and they come together and they help create the lines. So then they implement them, vote on them, they're approved, and then we are given that information and we implement that.
Alrighty. So what are some of the things that people can look for that are considered very important races dealing with the countywide?
Well, at this point, the only thing that will be on your ballot in February for the county are county supervisors. We have several county supervisors who will be up for, they have an actual primary. So if there's more than 2 candidates running, then you'll have a primary. And then in April, it will just be the top 2 vote getters on the ballot. There's as we know, in the city of Milwaukee, there's a race, and there are other school board races as well as municipal races, be it villages and or within the city, within Milwaukee County. So there are several races. So before you go to the polls on election day, check to make sure there is an election within your community.
Absolutely. So I do see that there are the Milwaukee County Supervisory Districts 1, 3, and 12, and then 2 aldermanic races in Wauwatosa. So like you said, it's important to go to that website, and you actually can type in where you can see your specific ballot based on where you live, right?
That is correct.
Yeah, and there's always a lot of information there to help people along the process of whatever it is they need to do, whether it's actually registering while they're at the polls on election day, whatever the case may be. But I wanted to talk also about the situation with the ID. So there is a scenario where if someone needs to obtain an ID in order to vote, they do have the option of going to the Wisconsin DMV and getting what they would call a free ID card that's good for 60 days. So at this point, are people still in a position to obtain that information, which would not require a birth certificate or documentation?
That is correct. You can go to DMV and request, if you do not have the proper information, you can go and request that you receive a temporary ID, and it does not cost you anything, and that is for voting purposes only. And you will be able to do that. And for other individuals, if on election day, because you must have ID in order to vote as well, if you don't have your identification with you, you may have left it at home for whatever reason, you can then ask to vote a provisional ballot and then make sure that you go back to the clerk's office by 4:00 p.m. on Friday and provide the clerk with that identification so your ballot can be cast.
All right, good information for sure. And when I took a look at the website of myvote.wi.gov, there's some things that can be found, including maybe the election results. Is that somewhere they can go to kind of see how things are going?
You will find the election results directly on our Milwaukee County page. So if you go to county.milwaukee.gov/election commission, you should be able to find the election results. Right in the middle of the page, we have county election results to your right. You click on that, and there will be an unofficial results tag right in the middle of that, Central Count Municipalities information for election results. You'll click on that, and you'll get the results from the election on that night.
All right, good stuff for sure. Is there anything else that you would like to add to today's conversation when it comes to voting?
We'll just encourage everyone to get out and vote on Tuesday. Polls open at 7 a.m. They close at 8:00 p.m. And remember, your vote does matter.
Absolutely. Julietta, I thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule today to talk to us and give information to those who are watching on how they can get out and let their voices be heard. It's very important, and we appreciate you. Thank you. Julietta Henry is the Elections Director for the Milwaukee County Elections Commission. For more information on the voting process, you can visit their website at county.milwaukee.gov, or you can go to myvote.wi.gov. As we wrap up today's show, we wanted to give you an opportunity to hear from a few of the candidates running for the mayor of Milwaukee. All 7 candidates, Cavalier Johnson, Bob Donovan, Michael Sampson, Erlyn Lucas, Marina Dmitrievich, Lena Taylor, and Aisha Griffin, were invited to submit a 2-minute video to give you, the viewer, an opportunity to hear where they stand on the issues. Those videos will play in alphabetical order.
Hello, Milwaukee. I'm Aisha Griffin. I'm running for City of Milwaukee Mayor because I'm trying to effectuate change. Aisha's for the people. I have the Aisha for the People platform, the Poor People Piece of the Pie campaign, trying to effectuate change by by having solutions. Mandates, massive economic neighborhood development under supervision. Seniority service days, where we bring seniors services for free. Also exempting them from property taxes. Seniors have paid their dues. They shouldn't pay anything else. We have juvenile justice challenge, trying to bust that pipeline to prison. I personally want to talk to the kid boys. I know my other opponents are scared to go into the inner city, but I'm not afraid to go into the inner city. I'll go into the heart of the hood because I want to know what's on the mind of these youth where they feel like they have to do things that's not conducive to their future. Children rather be praised than punished, but they rather be punished than be ignored. I have Maryland's massive economic neighborhood development under supervision. I don't have that much time to tell you about all my plans because I only have 2 minutes, but if you all get me closer to the door on February 15th, I promise you I'll share more. Aisha for the people, of the people, by the people.
Hi, I'm Cavalier Johnson, and I want to thank you for allowing me to be here today. I currently have the opportunity to serve as mayor of our city, and it's a job I want to retain because I've got a vision and a goal for this city. I want Milwaukee to be a place that is safe, that is healthy, and that's prosperous for all of the people that live in the city. I want us to be a city that addresses issues at their root, creating an environment teeming with safety for our families, growth for our businesses, opportunities for our citizens, and safety in our neighborhoods. I want Milwaukee to be one of the most livable cities in the United States. Now that's a big, bold plan, a big, bold idea about what our city should be and where it should go. And I got the drive, the determination, and the passion for service to get our city from where we are to where it needs to go. Listen, the challenges that Milwaukee face, they are serious, they're difficult, they're complex, and they're long-term. And you need somebody with the skills in order to get us there. I've got the skills because I've lived in the most oppressed neighborhoods in Milwaukee. I've overcome those challenges, and I know what it's like to be without. I've served not just as a member of the Common Council, but also as Common Council President. I know how to get things done legislatively on the City Council, and the mayor's going to have to be able to do that. And I also have clear lines of sight about what the responsibilities of the mayor are because I'm in the job now. I'm actually doing the work. So I leave you with this. We've got an opportunity for the first time in nearly 20 years to elect a mayor who's going to get our city going. We need a mayor who's going to get us from where we are to the midpoint now of the 21st century. And I think that I'm the person to carry our city forward as we look to make the Milwaukee that we need for the future, building a strong Black middle class, making sure that we have quality public safety, making sure that we create a city that's attractive, not just to the people who live here, but to other folks that want to come and be a part of our city too. I'm Cavalier Johnson. I'm currently the mayor, and I want to continue on serving as mayor as well. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Erlyn Lucas, and I'm running to be Milwaukee's next mayor. We face a number of challenges in our city. Violent crime and reckless driving are at an all-time high. We must solve these issues because they are the key to our economic prosperity and quality of life. We must see our way through this pandemic, keeping everyone safe and ensuring our businesses and our schools remain open. We must support existing businesses and attract new businesses to our city to provide jobs with family-sustaining wages that will move more families from occupancy to home ownership. And we must strengthen our systems of education to ensure they are providing our children with the tools they'll need to compete in a global economy. As Milwaukee's next mayor, I have the leadership experience to tackle these challenges on day one. With over 4 decades of law enforcement and public safety experience, managing people and multi-million-dollar budgets, and bringing people together to find solutions to complex challenges, I am the candidate to get things done. As you cast your ballot, I am asking you to look to bold, courageous leadership to move our city forward. I am asking you to look to the candidate with a record of service and sacrifice to our community. And I am asking you to look to the candidate who will unite our city and help our city rise to its fullest potential. On February 15, I am asking you to vote for Erlyn Lucas to be Milwaukee's next mayor. For more information about our campaign, go to lucasformayor.com.
Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, but expecting different results. Milwaukee, this is our chance to get different results. The actions and inaction of our elected politicians have created the current state of Milwaukee with potholes, reckless driving, and high gun crime. I have not been part of that problem, but I am here to be part of the solution. My name is Sampson, and I'm running to be the next mayor of Milwaukee. I'm an event planner and a small business owner. In my career, I brought new ideas to the city that have shaped Milwaukee's culture and boosted our city's economy. My annual events include the Shamrock Shuffle, Milwaukee Oktoberfest, Taco Fest, Wing Fest, the 12 Bars of Christmas, and the Young Milwaukee Holiday Gala. Now I'm ready to bring innovation and new ideas to City Hall. I entered this race to help people and to improve our city. My focus will be on public safety, business development, and tackling the looming budget crisis. Someone has to have the political courage to reform City Hall. I know I am that person. Vote Michael Sampson for mayor on February 15th.
Hi, I'm State Senator Lena Taylor, and I'm running for mayor of the city of Milwaukee. As someone who lives on the block that I grew up on, this is not the city that I know. It's not the city we deserve. It's not the city that I know that we can become. To move us in the 21st century, we have to go away from the status quo, protection, lack of vision, leadership that we have had for far too long. It's put us in a position where we lead in segregation, in mass incarceration, the worst place to raise a Black child or be a Black American. Milwaukee is more than just our vibrant downtown. We are our neighborhoods, and every neighborhood deserves to have a safe neighborhood, a city that is equitable for all of its residents. As an 18-year legislator who was on the Finance Committee for 14 years, a $70 billion state budget, I brought millions back to the city of Milwaukee. I know how to work across the aisle with 130 pieces of legislation that have been done. As a business owner who literally started with $2,000 and grew 2 businesses to $250,000 businesses with multiple support staff and volunteers that worked and got trained in those businesses. As a mother who was a single parent who raised up a boy in this city who is now 22 and in the United States Army, I understand the struggles of far too many parents in this city. If you want a leader who will be bold, who will think out of the box, and who will be honest and transparent, vote Lena Taylor for mayor. Now until February 12th for early voting, or on election day, February 15th, vote Lena Taylor.
I'm your host, Andrea Williams. Thank you for watching Connect MKE, and I hope you'll join us again next week as we connect you to the people and the issues that affect where we live, work, and play. We'll see you next week.